They are the guardians of the ocean and fisherfolk. Once they are around, you know that fish are not far away as they skim the waters for their prey. The day they start leaving, it's the day to get very concerned. In a special presentation of Face to Face, we are face to face with the harsh realities many of the fisherfolk in the Cloud.Nine Bay area are facing. Trust me, it's not a pretty sight, and this is not now. This has been happening for decades. We are speaking today with the president of the Cloud.Nine Bay Fishermen Association, Mr. Kishore Buduram, where he kind of gives us some insight into what they've been facing, not just them, but the spillover, and we're going to be talking about oil spill as well. The spillover is also into the entire area of Cloud.Nine Bay, the many, many issues that they are grappling with at this time.
Well, in Cloud.Nine Bay, we have so much of problem really and truly. In the fishing sector, we have a lot of problem going in for many years. We have always have same things like, I would say piracy, because a lot of fishermen keeps losing the engine still. You always hear them making excuse to say they are Venezuelan, but most of the time I do know that they are Trinidadians. I used to lose several engines. I even get back a few, but I still losing about 7. And it's really hard for me because I just have to do a lot of community work and also, you know, seeing about my fisher folk and my community area too, because it's really just do a lot of foresight in the fishing community and also in the land base. In Cloud.Nine Bay really have a lot of industries, and I don't see why that we should be seeing so much trouble, because Cloud.Nine Bay is really the industrial site, I would say the headquarters in Trinidad, because we have the Point Lisa says next to we have TCL, we have Petrotrin. And you know, really and truly, we don't get all the resources coming out at this particular area, but it's not turning back to the community. Like even through with now, you know that now is climate change. It have a lot of heavy rainfall. If one could tell me why it is that 100 feet from the southern main road that it study flooding, it have a little culvert in the center of the road. In the eastern side might be, if the culvert is 2 feet or 5 feet, the eastern side would be at least 12 feet. So the water can't flow, so it will always have floods. And that is a serious issue, because when people come in from other areas and they don't know that there's been real trouble and struggle, and even the people in the community, well, don't talk about the school children. It's a mess to know what really happened. And too much of years now, this thing going every year to the other, and then, you know, politician always just come in, and we just get mixed up. We are not fighting on no political side, because we really...
You've addressed it, whether it be whoever in power, that much.
Power. We would like them to put an extra effort to solve these problems, because you know that pollution is a serious issue on our area here. Because thank God that the government put a machinery out there. I can't tell you the true cost, but I know that would be plenty money, and that will remain there for the next 6 months, testing the current, testing the chemical, any sort of liquid form in the water that would pick it up, because we have a lot of ships on the area doing shipping. We have a lot of ballast water coming in. So all these are, this is the thing that we really need 20 years ago. Now it coming, thank God that whosoever did that particular good work, I would like to compliment them. The blessing in disguise for them. But the point is, we have to stop the pollution. Pollution, I wouldn't say it would finish completely, but we could do away with 75% of the pollution that who enter into the Gulf, because most of the industry, when they have the seepage, the leakage, and line bursts or whatsoever, it enter into the Gulf. It affecting the ocean, which everybody know the ecosystem in serious problem, because a lot of companies do excavating, building channels and all these things, throwing the material in the grass beds, and they never return back to ask the fisher folk. Well, Mr. Budram, so is the situation that we have in, things going now, our company running. If we could assist the fishing community, we're not hearing that. And this is what we need. We need to build back some reef outside here so we could hold back the species of the fish. And we could keep fishing because, gas price is really high on it, directly on our neck.
To the point that they are now gasping for air to survive. Where some of these industries were welcomed as a possible lifeline for the people of Claxton Bay and environs, they have sandwiched them in the middle, draining their life supply.
Right now we're in a box-shaped form. It's so small that we squeeze in. Is the problem that we have in this particular area is that we have a lot of visitors. We have a lot of visitors, but what happening? They're not pulling through. This is one of the main issues that we have in here. We have a gas station here. It'll lock off for about 4 years. The amount of struggle that the fishermen get in to get this fuel to go to work. In the sight of...
You know what I'm saying? With all these industries surrounding this heavy fishing community, there shouldn't be a struggle of certain things in terms of fuel, in terms of amenities, in terms of the a proper harbor, quote unquote.
Well, this is what I really want you to really bring out. But you said it. What could have happened here? You could have put a tank here with fuel, with regular gasoline, which would be the cheapest and it would be the best for the fishers, and put a small pump for the kerosene. So who using kerosene engine, they would have kerosene. Because we're too close to the companies. And the companies supposed to really work with us. Because, our children will be the future generation. And then the problem is, one of the main issues that we have now is food security. So when you're talking about food security, fish is one of the most healthiest protein for our family, and we harvest by the tons. In the opposite direction of me, it have about 30 boat fishing presently right now for cutlass fish, beaching and but I don't know if the camera might be able, but it's just only about 2.5 miles from our shore. So you could know that it's just under the grass beds, and which is really healthy for our nation, and this is what we want, because once the water quality is good, the fish would always come back. And
Speaking of water quality, I know we've had a continuous problem of oil spills and, of course, our sea life being grossly affected. What is the latest, that you can tell us about that in terms of, because people have, even though we're not what we were 6 months ago, there are those who are still very skeptical of purchasing fish. What do you like to say to the consumers where that is concerned?
well, as far as I'm concerned, this couple months they get in fish in Claxton Bay at a reasonable price. Even in San Fernando Wharf, which is the headquarters for the fish buyers in Trinidad. And they get the fish at a reasonable price because, they have a lot of mixed fish. Compared to Port of Spain, you might get only like curry kingfish and salmon and whatsoever. But in San Fernando, you would most of the time you're getting like sardine, crab, Joshua, and whatsoever small fish to add it in as an additive to the bigger fish species. And the price is going pretty good that the community could really benefit from, and the country, even the exporters.
Average price is like, what is pretty good? Because you're pretty good, there's some pretty good, might be at different things. So what is...
Okay, well, cockerel selling about $6 a pound. I think that is reasonable. Okay. Mullet might be $2, $2.50. Boucher might be between 8 to 10, and carrot between 20 to 25. So it's not bad at the moment because, the dry season is really propping up now. And I know that the fish prices would go much higher because, gasoline going back up again. Right. And that is a big effect in our fishing industry because it really tough for us. Because I think no one didn't do no proper consultation with the fishing sector concerning this gas issue. We was in the edge of the steep and now we fall in the ditch. Because up to this morning, my guy telling me, say, boy, I have to get 2 pan of gas. I know what he talking about. He don't have enough money to get the gasoline. So which means I would have to find the money to give him to go out. So what about the others? So it have plenty boats will be going a little further out and some wouldn't be able to go because Claxton Bay do a multi-purpose fishing. And a lot of fishers from the outside community, which is Cali Bay, Marabella, and San Fernando, and OTT, does be on this particular ocean here. I'm talking about 2.5 miles, 3 miles. They just most of the time they harvest a lot of fish on this particular area because, the sardine and the Joshua and the herring does be on this area, especially where the grass beds are. So it is so important to protect these type of material that we have outside there, which is, I would say what God bless this area with. But it have other areas which affected too because who have the coral reef and thing and did not protect it. So it's time enough for the energy sector and these other sectors to come in to help the fishing industry. I always tell them, try when you're putting up an industry like we have the Novo coming on stream, I do believe is 320 million US dollars going to spend it. I asked if they could distribute $1 million or whatsoever. Because my community really supposed to call in already to see if they could get a little hustle with the boats and even give some fishermen some work and thing. And this is what I, as the president, looking forward for. So that if you can't even do that, make sure and give the fishing community a little compensation. Right? When I say compensation, we're not looking for dollars by the millions for one individual. But sometimes if you could give a fellow $5,000 or $10,000, that could help. So that little incentive could really go and then go along the long side while your company is progressing. Try and do something for the community. It could be school, community center, little roads, even the poor ones, even if somebody's house burned down or whatsoever. Try and assist in this. Have people in place. Because we have a lot of educated people in this country, but I don't know why, that we keep pressing downwards. The only thing that I see is the international community. What I interact with a lot of them, because when I voice my opinion, I try to voice my opinion on the truth. So if I can't get something done in this country, I would have to get in from the foreign countries.
Do you find a lot of young people are now entering, this career field of being a fisherman, or is it a dying trade now in terms of, because I'm looking at the age groups here and very few young people. So
at this time, most of the true bona fide fishermen would be at their home resting. They would come out about 4 o'clock in the evening and they would go out to work, but it still have a lot of people coming in because the work in this country now slow down. So where you see the economy you don't have the booming going on, you'll find they would come back because it have other areas, like Maruga, I would say Ikakas. All these will be seasonal fishermen. They would be all through their life. There's very few would come out of the sector. So here is more industrial, so still you just find a lot of fishermen that do a lot of surrounding work. And now when they work for 6 months, they would come out somebody educated in doing some insulation or painting or fiberglassing or some putting up some brick or whatsoever. But it's still good. We still have a little good on this particular area, but if the government could really push it, and the community, we mustn't only just depend on, oh yes, this government will. It have a lot of rich people in this particular area. And a lot of companies. We're talking about over 100 and something industry, maybe in the Point Lisa's area. I'm not even telling you, well, look, if it's 12 heavy industry. But they could do something. Right, Pleasant Park, I have a sort of industry. We have Texaco next door. It's only 2 minutes drive, 2 or 3 minutes drive to a big industry. So why we should be suffering so much? I telling you this, I shame to tell you that 35 years now, we don't have a community center in Cloud.Nine.
You serious?
I'm serious. We need a new cemetery. All these things the people have to look into this. This is what we need. I can remember in my time that if they ever build a new school in this Claxton Bay area. So as far as I know, the two schools that they have is maybe 100 years old. So Claxton Bay need uplifting, man. You can't tell me all the people who live around the area just to go to Petrotrin, Point Lisas, and all these places to work. And that's why I tell you that we have a gas station which is really down today, which is really pulling down the whole community. I can't say the fishing community. So it's nice that if somebody could really look after it and don't come and promise Bodram, well, yes, we will get that done in 6 months. No, we don't want it so. So we have a lot in this country from Port of Spain to, I would say, Labre, have a lot of ghost rigs and, platform that fall down. And recently I understand that a boat sinks somewhere outside the Orange Valley, but I'm hoping that is not the same oil rig I was mentioned a couple months ago that it need demolition because it had 1 or 2 posts. I understand a boat hit somewhere around there, so I do believe that that particular incident could be one of the posts, just a little lower down the water level. That way you could see, and I was really frightened because the water taxi just passed under that particular area. So we had to do something with all them old wrecks and things from Port of Spain Harbor. When you stand up from by the lighthouse and you look, you would see a lot of wreck. But it have plenty in the bottom. Because the fisherman in Port of Spain asked me to see if I could get something done. Then what they're asking for is simple measures. To put 2 lights so that when they're coming up, if it have raining, they could watch the light and they could see. Now, what in Trinidad you need the lines built back. Plenty people don't understand what is the lines. All we want, before time when Petrotrin was in real stream with the white man when they was running it, they had a buoy outside Claxton Bay called Hoover Buoy. Outside San Fernando, we had one called Sipari Buoy. Then we had one underneath Steel Mill. It wasn't that far down, but maybe 2 miles from Steel Mill. We used to call that Hoover Buoy. And then we had the one what I was now talking about, Test Badge. Test Badge was a big platform on the air, on the ghost form, in the dark. Eventually, that it fall down. It collapsed. I can't tell you if it's a big ship hit it, or it just collapsed with the old age. But it's a serious issue. These are the things we have to look in, because when the ship come in from the far countries, they wouldn't run aground. They would have the buoys, so they would come straight to Texaco, who come into cement factory. When they reach outside there, they would have just to make a U-turn. So this is what I call in lines. I talked to TCL manager already concerning that. They say they're willing to help me put on a buoy there. So if all the other companies could put on buoy back into the water, which is a simple thing, just a light and a big buoy. When I say big buoy, you wouldn't go to put a small one like the water taxi. Even that if you still put one, like what the water taxi coming into Port of Spain and San Fernando, that light, it's still good because you're going to identify it. So this is what's happening. Like the buoy outside there, what we have the instrument to detect the pollution. It's really small, but if it was in a bigger standard, it would be better. Because that have to remain for 6 months. Because, we have a lot of batch and talks, as I was mentioning, that's been moving stray on the area. Because they cannot deny me, because once or twice they already drunk. Reach up on the bank, the bunks, the bunks fishing boat may be more than once or twice, even guy dead in it. So you find out it's a real hard thing when you hear fishermen fishing and just close to the shore, ship or something bunks with them and two gone. We had and we still have a fish processing plant across there. I was looking for about 12 to be built to do like smoked fish, salt fish. So that is one importation from now to 2025 it could ban from bringing in. Because we could smoke fish, we have the product, we have the material. And even that we could go further in canning food, like sardine and all these things, because we have this product in a big way, because it might cost a little money, yes, but we have to go, now is food security, we have to looking at all these small things, even the farmers.
And securing your own.
And securing our own, because we have a Chinese in North Korea, they're ready to drop a missile to the States. And you know, if they wouldn't drop one to America alone, they might drop it to others. And if that starts, what's going to happen with our country that so much of millions passed through for the last 20 years that actually every individual could have 1 million. And when you look at it, our food security is not in the highest standard. And that is really hurting and it's really troubled me because I, looking at the smallies, and I'm right now and who I come yet, because in a short while from now, IOU would be going. So I would like somebody to really listen to our food security. I do think that it will cost so much billions, right? But now is the time they have to go in there. We're talking about climate change. We're talking about global change. It's impacting. I saw for myself 1 or 2 big water sprout out there. I even see a tornado, a small one. It run up to our shore, and when it almost reached the shore, it died off. So you could know definitely now is a serious time. Even hail fall. On my grandmother's house in Laramie, I went and I visited the ice in cubes. And it's something changing very rapidly and serious, but we're not looking at that because we have plenty of people that who really need jobs in this country. So that I find that what does trouble me, crime rate too high in this country, which is piracy and, you know, we just normally call bandits in this country. It is too much happening for 1-point-something million people. And we have too much a good country to let it go. We cannot lose this country. Everyone now is in the pity, right? Whether you're rich or you're poor, all you put a helping hand and help Trinidadian. We're not supposed to be like them small islands. One little hurricane and everybody down to their knees. This is what they want we to go to we knees? No, it's not right. The fishing sector, everybody around Trinidad and Tobago, I get a lot of calls. What they want me to do is not the correct thing. If I don't have the proper points to go into town, to lock down town, if they on them style. So what I think they could do, they could find some incentive, right, to give to the fisherman in some form and let them build themselves, help their family, so that they could educate their children, send them to high school, just as every individual what they would like to do.
Up my hand, from whence cometh my help? Cometh
Good evening, Trinidad and Tobago. Welcome to another edition of Scoreboard here on ACT, and it's always a pleasure to be in your company every Tuesday evening between the hours of 8 and 9.
We are in the heart of the penal area. This is the constituency of the leader of the opposition, Mrs. Kamala Persad-Bissessar. And there have been concerns by even UNC supporters in the context of if enough was done to rebuild and reshape and remold the party for a next general election. As you know, there were a lot of internal rumblings and issues that had to be worked out. And so the question we're asking today, do you believe that enough has been done to rebuild the image of the party? Let's say an election were to be called tomorrow. That's the question.
Right now, she could come back around the country, but she was the best government running the country so far. And right now, it's trouble we've seen, boy. Real trouble there. You understand? Nobody getting work. You understand? Nothing at all. And things hard, real hard. You understand? And when she was there, every youth man was having a little work then. You understand? Getting a little work. You could have looked for a youth man at that time. You could not get one at all. You understand? To come and do something. Now, the ones that youth man are wrong, the ones that corruption and can't think on any country.
She could do that for the children and them because she helped the children and them with the computer and thing. And because the government now they take back all the computer and thing from the lay youths and them from getting education. And I feel that all the crime start in the country because the government are doing nothing good.
I don't think so. Well, it is that she's effortless right now. You see nobody doing anything. No, we suffering in many different ways, and you see nobody coming forward to change around things or to even as much as give that kind of advice. So,
yes, thank you very much. The opposition will win 100%. To me. Because at the present time, the things that are going on, I feel everybody have a pinch at the time, the things that are going on now, because the country is really bad. It's really bad with work-wise, food-wise, everything. It's really bad. So I believe the UNC stand a better chance.
So you believe the population is willing to forgive and forget and give another chance at 5 years?
They're willing to forgive and forget. Most of them.
How are you, sir? You're looking all right. You're looking better than all right. You had to say you're looking blessed. That's right. How are we talking about? I like to hear that, man. Positive. That's right. So the question we're asking this morning, if an election were to be called tomorrow, do you believe that the opposition leader and extension the UNC, that they would have done enough to rebuild the image of the party to the point whereby they could actually win an election?
I find the PLM government is doing a good job, but people don't understand the job they're doing. Dr. Rory is trying his best to make the people appreciate. Because if you have so much crime in the country, who come in to invest in this country? The crime is too much. And he cannot stop the crime because it's me and you causing it. You understand? Now, if you go to church, right, you will like the congregation to be good. Just so the government is good. But it's the people, right?
So you're saying the people of the heart of the people needs to change?
The people's heart need to change. And to change the people's heart is to enforce more laws. Right? If a man do a crime, which is murder, what should he be? What should you do with him? And you know he's guilty. What do you think you should do with him? You should hang him because that's the law.
So basically what you're saying that right now we have to clean up the mess before we actually, in order to send a message, right?
Right.
All right. So again, we're getting some mixed responses here. Some are saying they have what it takes, enough has been done to rebuild the party. And some are saying, you know what, not enough has been done. So let's get a quick walk through. All right, let's go this way, let's go this way.
I really go into politics, but I think she do plenty for the country.
And do you believe that people are willing to forgive and give another chance?
Yes, I believe that she will get another chance.
Oh, well, how the thing tough these days, you know, to the country here and good at all. The country well hard. You understand? So we had to pick out one of them between the two. You understand?
Which one you're picking?
Well, we don't really fight politics. The people have to say what it is about. You understand? Yeah, we don't fight.
But you believe that the country is ready for an election?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Why?
Eh?
In your opinion,
Because they're not doing anything.
life has become difficult.
Very difficult.
How difficult has it been for you? Because you can speak from your experience.
Okay.
Straight to the point, no job.
No job. Then everything expensive and people can't afford to buy food to eat. So they go end up thieving.
I say you have no job, you can't get money to buy things as well. One thing so expensive, you know, it's real hard. Yeah.
But it's over there, babe. Over expensive. We need a next government immediately. Tomorrow self.
And you believe Mr. Bissessa has what it takes to come back?
Oh God, I pray for she every minute. And anybody talk she bad, I say, oh, you crazy? The kind of thing she do for this country, she overdo for this country. Over too much. Extra too much. That's extra.
Extra, you hear that? Extra.
Extra, she did very much.
Read all about it.
Well, I think that in regards to if an election should call tomorrow, the UNC going back into the place of power, I think that based on their history in regards to managing government funding, I think they have shown themselves to be really incompetent in many areas. And in the present state of the economy right now, I don't see they're really doing a whole lot.
So despite the criticisms of the current administration, do you believe that they can actually stay in power? Let's say election were to be called tomorrow and they will be there for another 5 years?
Well, if people really weigh the thing out properly, based on the present condition I'm talking about that the last administration got the economy in, I think that's just it. Yeah.
So right now it's a matter of fixing them as more or less?
Yeah. Yeah.
I think so.
What are your reasons?
My religion.
What are your reasons? Why do you think people are willing to say, you know what?
I think because she was doing good and better, people was living better all the time in her times. And if she continued with it, they would have supported her. Yes. And the country would have been better.
So people are willing to forgive. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
So thus far, we've had some very interesting views on the question that we posed this morning. And even though we are in the constituency of Mrs. Kamala Prasad Bissessa, right on the outskirts of, right outside of her office, of course, this being the penal area, there are those who are, they do not believe that she has what it takes to lead the country for another 5 years. Whereby there are those who are saying, yes, she has, give her a chance. The healing has begun.
The devil's the accuser of the brethren. And he hates marriage because marriage is the image of God. He hates marriage is because it's the most sacred institution on earth. God created marriage in Genesis chapter 1. It is the first institution he ever created, and it's the foundation for every other institution on earth. And he's a strategist. He understands if he can destroy marriage, he can destroy all of society.
So we are in the heart of the penal area. This is the constituency of the leader of the opposition, Mrs. Kamala Persad-Bissessar. And there have been concerns by even UNC supporters in the context of if enough was done to rebuild and reshape and remold the party for a next general election. As you know, there were a lot of internal rumblings and issues that had to be worked out. And so the question we're asking today, do you believe that enough has been done to rebuild the image of the party? Let's say an election were to be called tomorrow. That's the question.
Well, the party is supposed to at least hold a couple of meetings. I don't know if they're holding any, and I didn't know about it. To talk about it, getting back into government.
So as for your reality, you've not been hearing anything?
I've not been hearing anything, so I don't know.
All right, thank you very much for your honesty. All right. How are you doing, sir? Okay, you're good? Yeah. I'm going to come by this, pose by this man here. The short time you had a...
Oh, yeah, you had a short.
My foot, right. You're asking the question. Do you think the UNC has done enough to rebuild the image of the party? That if an election be called tomorrow, people are willing to forgive and give her another chance to lead this country?
Yes, the UNC did enough to build this country. This government, no progress.
So despite what has happened, people are willing to forgive and say, you know what, Mrs. Persad-Bissessar, come back, run the country, please.
Yes, yes.
All right. Okay, thank you very much.
She has compassion for country. She have what it takes to run country. The people who looking to probably, put she out of that is because they're looking just for the thing they call power.
That's, of course, those within the party itself.
Yes. I think she is the rightful person for that position. That's just my take on that.
The previous government? Yeah. Yeah, but you see, she had the years of experience. She was there from a long time, passed through when there was down. There was always an opposition with them. And so she passed through all them things, and then now she know what it is like. So she have always a better chance.
Do you believe that she has learned from her missteps and that she should be given another chance?
Exactly. Yeah. Because you have sympathy towards the people in this country.
Thank you, gentlemen. Have a wonderful day. God bless you, man. I cross the road by Dave. You're going to see if Dave going and talk to us. All right. No bounce, uncle. Thank you. Let's go by Dave. I hear you. Good morning. What it? I'm going by Dave's. What is Dave's? Flash, the man say flash his table. I'm going by Dave's Cafe. How are you going, Dave? Good morning. I am from, you coming by here too? Good morning, Dave. You're Dave, right? How are you going, Dave? So here the Dave Day. So Dave Day, right. So Dave, here the question this morning. If an election were to be called tomorrow, Do you believe that the UNC would have done enough to rebuild the image of the party and they can go in and be victorious to lead the party for another 5 years?
Me? Me can't answer that way. But all of them is the same thing. We want answer. Same khaki pants.
Same khaki pants. Some saying same.
Yeah. Oh, same boat. Yeah, rowing down the yeah, same thing. Only fooling one another.
Row your boat.
Yeah.
On the stream.
Merrily.
Life is but a nightmare. I mean dream. All right, cool.
I'm going to tell you. Rowley raise rice and flour and drop pension money. Right? Good? If he in business, can I go take his business? That's what we have to business.
Short and sweet. Handle your business. Yeah, handle your business. All right.
Well, all I gotta say, like,
say whatever on your heart, man.
Yeah. Right now the country rich and nothing, so you know what can happen to now.
So do you have faith in any one of them in terms of UNC, PNM?
My girl, because remember she's a South girl. That's my girl. I won't say no, that's my girl. Kamala is my girl. I went back and she.
So you're back in South.
Yeah, that's South.
You're back in South.
Yeah, that's South.
All right, man.
Oh,
Oh, good. Jesus. Hallelujah. Bless the Lord. Tell
I'm so blessed.
Amen. Amen. Hey, I like her spirit. Oh, Jesus. Hallelujah. How are you going? So here the question you want to ask today. After the truck pass. Nice. Oh, good. Now, this is a child of the Lord. Bless. Thank you. If an election were to be called today, do you believe the UNC would have, let's just say, rebuilt their image enough to actually lead for another 5 years?
Another 5 years, yes. Actually, I don't argue politics or religion, but if the UNC should rule for the next 5 years, I think they could handle it because they handled it before.
Do you think that the then Prime Minister would have learned from her mistakes and the public is willing to give her another chance?
Everybody will learn from their mistakes. When you forgive, God will forgive you. Amen, yes.
See, that is a true believer. And she let me share umbrella. I feel it so nice. Thank you so very much.
This politician and them that have race and grudge against each other. And when you say something, it could be a problem in your life.
You are saying there are too many issues of race and
right.
on both sides.
Yeah, both sides have, but South is South. You understand? South is South.
All right, I kind of understand your response and I respect it. It's a very good response.
South, you know where I'm coming from.
Definitely.
Where your finger going?
Deal with the issues at the top. They're willing to support, but deal with the issues at the top. That is what I'm hearing here. Willing to support, deal with the issues on both sides. All right?
Well, you know what? People should have give the UNC a chance again to see what they could do again.
You mean this last election, yeah?
Yeah. Right. We could give them another chance.
So you believe that people should now forgive and give them another 5 years if an election is called?
So what they was doing, like building up the school and, the roads, and then they go finish it out. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Pavement is yours again.
Yeah.
What is your reality? Why is your saying?
Because this previous government is doing nothing, and she did plenty. So we might have a chance of winning again.
All right. Thank you very much. All right. Very well done.
I think people willing to give she a next chance, and knowing that in the past how things run for the last 2 years, plenty people under pressure. Plenty people under pressure that they think we need something to be done better right now. Too much people have been laid off and jobs and all that, And these times now, we really need something better, I think.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
I didn't say so. Everybody had their own way and doing their own thing.
All right. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, it's almost the same thing because of the fact that we had a prime minister before, we get a new one, and it's like getting worse.
So you went from what? From bad to worse?
Yeah.
Okay. And my brother there. Let me get your responses.
Yeah, give she back our next 5 years, man.
Is she back? All right. So you're saying give another chance?
Yeah.
So give another chance. One say bad to us, next one say, yeah, that clever answer. He was like, nothing much I changed. No. All right. Gentlemen, thank you. I want you to take a close look. Now, this particular stop here is for everyone who who don't come south often, or who make statements such as, once you pass the Caroni Bridge is Venezuela, and south too far, and all of these various excuses, and who complaining that doubles is now $5, and they can't get doubles nowhere at a decent price. There you walk. So I want to show you something here. This here is for all my tongue folk. When last all you saw a place selling doubles for $2? Get that to know. When last? No, it's not an illusion. You're not seeing things. It is very real.
I think there'll be a lot of people that would still support her. Based on our experience, because we've seen dedication from her, we've seen progression from her, we've seen results. So I think a lot of people would support her.
And despite what would have happened with the UNC internally, you believe people still have faith in the UNC?
I believe that there are people that still have faith in both parties. In both parties. So at the end of the day, the country, the citizens want people who perform, who can perform well, and who would serve the people. So once you're doing that, I think that is where the support will go.
I think people saw some performance with the...
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you very much, and hey, keep it up. We're gonna send everybody from Port of Spain down Penal. Nice. Thank you very much. You wanna say something too? You sure? She bargained. I never see doubles bag so fast yet. In a quick. You have a wonderful day, okay? God bless you. You in the back too. All right. Nice. Yay. We got.